We've all heard how smoking increases the risks of cancer, respiratory illness, and heart disease.
What is less well known is that every stage of the life cycle of a cigarette has harmful health and environmental consequences for both smokers and non-smokers.
Even people who have never smoked can be harmed by the chemicals used in the growing of tobacco and the manufacturing of cigarettes.
And even after cigarettes have been extinguished, the butts that remain are not just a major source of litter. They contain toxic chemicals that pollute the environment.
In this program, we'll take a closer look at the health and environmental consequences of the making, consumption, and disposal of cigarettes.
This is how it begins, in tobacco fields in countries around the world, and in states like Kentucky, Tennessee, Virginia, and North Carolina. Tobacco is very susceptible to insects and disease, so tobacco growers apply pesticides, fungicides, and herbicides to their crops.
According to some estimates, every year 27 million pounds of pesticides are sprayed onto tobacco fields in the United States alone. These chemicals pose significant risks to farm workers who can experience acute poisoning, cancer, and nervous system damage.
Many of these workers are children and teenagers. While U.S. law prohibits the sale of cigarettes to anyone under the age of 18, thousands of children, some as young as 11 or 12, work in the tobacco fields. Young tobacco workers are particularly vulnerable to the harmful effects of chemicals.
Listen to Cheryl Healton, director of the Global Institute of Public Health at New York University.
Workers in the tobacco field, when they're children, are at risk of exposure to all of the chemicals, but they're particularly at risk for two reasons. One, they're small and vulnerable, and so any toxin is going to reach a higher level with them, but also they're still developing. Their brains are still developing. Many of their organs are not even fully developed, and so they're coming into contact with these pesticides and nicotine at a particularly vulnerable time biologically.
When they spray, you can tell the chemical is very, 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 very strong. I was in the middle of the road and I didn't start feeling dizzy. My head started hurting really bad. I had like a big headache, and I started seeing like little black dots